You're listening to Supervision with a Vision, where we discuss all things supervision. I'm your host, Sarah, professional counselor, marriage and family therapist, play therapist, eating disorder specialist, and cookie lover, with my co-host, Heather, marriage and family therapist, certified Together in Texas counselor, a Texas transplant from California, and outdoor adventurer. Hi, welcome to Supervision with a Vision. Today, Heather and I are talking about feeling overwhelmed in a helping role. We're all in helping roles.
Right.
Yeah. This week we read Caregiving is Stressful Under Any Circumstance, published in Psychology Today 2024. Heather, it starts out with the idea that feelings are very complicated, including you as a helper.
Right. So I think in your roles, when you become a therapist in mental health roles, and it could be actually helping fields, right? Like it doesn't just have to be in mental health. You are caregiving for your clients or patients in a constant capacity, but they all need different things. Like they're all...
Oh, so they all maybe require something of you that could be different?
Right. So it's not just going in and caretaking for one person, which that could be happening too in your personal life, but just keeping it in line with professional roles. You have person after person that might need something different. And then possibly you even have staff that you might be, or colleagues that are coming to you.
I was thinking, you said, thinking just about the professional role, but that's a good point too, right? That each one of us is so multidimensional that the things that we do at work aren't completely separate of the things that we do at home.
Oh, right. Yeah. You can't turn that off.
Yeah. So if something's going on at home that requires more of you, it does.
Right.
And work might also need something from you, but it might be different. Right. That's kind of my point, is that it's a different kind of feeling or need that you might be fulfilling.
Right.
I was thinking, I have known, I won't say who, and I won't tell you it's just one person, but I've known people when I talk to them about work, or maybe they haven't seen me in a long time and they ask what I'm doing for work, and I tell them, they say, "Oh, that sounds terrible."
Oh, yeah, I've had that experience.
Right? And I mean, isn't that a little bit true that there are really hard parts of being in a helping role?
Right.
But they aren't the only parts.
Right.
So there's something that might be difficult, but there's also something that's really rewarding about the things that we do.
And those things can be happening at the same time.
Yeah. I think, when in school, one of my last placements as a student was at a homeless shelter.
Okay.
And that was really hard. I saw a lot of families that were in really bad situations or really terrible circumstances. But also I saw really amazing stuff too. So it wasn't just, you couldn't paint that experience with just one color.
Right. I think that happens in a lot of different locations where you're seeing people coming in with for different reasons, right? And so they're coming in and you might have a really great accomplishment with one family you're working with when another one just isn't there yet, or they're really struggling, or they need more and more of you. Right. And so you're being pulled different directions.
Well, and I think I was going to say, we can come up with extreme examples, but we could also come up with the day-to-day example. Like if you and I thought about the different people that we saw in one day, that what's going on with them, the goals that you're addressing require something different of you. And do you have examples of maybe where you've scheduled people in a specific way on purpose for that reason?
I think it happens probably to a lot of us where we might inadvertently schedule too many clients that are requiring maybe a lot from us, and go, okay, I can't see these 3 people on the same day again. Yeah. Like I can't put these in the same, maybe I can see 2 of them, but definitely not 3 of them,
One time I thought this was a really great idea. I was going to be really organized and efficient. And I scheduled that I would talk to the parents of every single one of my clients. all in the same week.
Right.
So then
this is a parenting week.
Right. I'd knock out all those parents discussions and make sure that I did every single one of them. I thought it was going to be really efficient. And it took energy out of me that was different than the time I spend with kids that I didn't appreciate until I did that. And I thought, yuck.
Right.
I don't want to do it that way again.
Right.
I need to make sure that I don't talk to too many parents all in one week. And not that it's bad to talk to parents. It just required something different of me.
It's a different mindset.
Emotionally, mentally.
Right.
That I didn't realize until I had done it. So in that way, feelings are complicated.
Right.
The feelings that go into what we're doing is complicated.
Right. It stays complicated. It's not like you're going to get away from it.
Okay, so we're talking about feeling overwhelmed specifically. So even that could be complicated.
Sure. I definitely think that when you get in a spot where you're like, oh, I'm a little overwhelmed, and then it snowballs. Okay, now I'm really overwhelmed. Just kind of can keep progressing.
Or maybe even, what if there's something that's overwhelming you? Like thinking about a specific client that it seems weird, but you could switch to a different thing that might also be overwhelming, but because it's different, it feels like a break.
Right. Absolutely.
So you're dealing with a tough client situation and you pause that maybe to do your taxes, which are also not fun, but it's different and it gives you a break mentally somehow, or emotionally.
It's a different kind of stressor, a different kind of pull on what is required of you.
Okay. So bringing us to our next point, that burnout is also complicated.
Right.
It's a description of emotions, and that it's also not like a final destination. It's not a point or a time and place that you're just there. That's more nuanced than that.
Right. And I think it ebbs and flows. I think you can be burnt out, especially with a particular situation, and then given lots of things, right? Either time or perspective. Maybe it changes in a day or two, so.
Or maybe one of the changes that could happen could be the other requirements placed on you at that time. So I don't know. So maybe even just something going on at home. Maybe you just made a really big move and you have less bandwidth to give to something else.
Sure. I think all of that impacts how we are traveling through burnout versus it being a destination.
Right. So when we say that, you and I are also meaning or saying that burnout does not mean, oh, I'm burned out, so now I have to quit being a counselor.
Right. Oh, I'm done. Oh, okay. No, it's not that. It's definitely more of okay, so I am burnout. What do I need to do? I mean, it's a pause point, maybe. Do I need to self-assess? Do I need to?
Oh, okay. An opportunity to take a different direction.
Right.
But also, not just, oh, so I am here, I find myself burnt out, and it now means I have to quit. Right. It could mean just an opportunity to reassess and regroup.
Sure. Or a chance to just look at something and go, okay, with the situation where I had scheduled a lot of clients with the same things on the same day. I cannot do that again. That's not helpful. And what do I can also feel really, maybe I'm pulling myself out of burnout by saying, you know what, I'm going to split them all up. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm never going to see them all on Wednesday again. So,
when I had a position in an agency and I left it and I told myself, I will never, ever, 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 ever do that kind of work again. And I did stop doing that type of work for a while. And eventually came back to it, not actually with a lot of intention. So I still wasn't maybe completely aware, but I came back to it, and coincidentally, I came back to it in a different way.
Okay. Yeah.
So in this situation, it was a specific population that I told myself, I will never, ever, 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 ever see those kinds of people again. And the thing that was causing burnout wasn't entirely the type of people.
Right.
It had to do with the work environment, the type of people, the other the other commitments I had in my life. And when I could change some of those things, it drastically changed what working with that population felt like.
Sure.
And I could do it then.
Right.
So I was burnt out, but it didn't mean I just had to stop and completely do something different.
You just need to shift within your original.
Ooh, I mean, kind of a silly direction, but when you're feeling really burnt out, have you ever daydreamed or thought about what you could do instead?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
I mean,
What do you
I
might
do. Okay. So before, like in college times, I was a preschool teacher at a private school. And I think, oh my gosh, that job would be so easy now. And I'd be really good at it. Like all of my mommy skills would be like kicked in and fulfilled and all of that. Like, you know, but then there's parts of that I just laugh at that because I'm like, oh, I'm sure I would not like it.
Yeah. I've thought, one, I would kill it as a manager of a Gap.
Oh, yes. I've done that.
I mean, I can fold some T-shirts like nobody's business.
Right. And create a calendar for employee. Like, yeah.
Or
that's great.
like fold the shirts and put them in a nice display on a table. I could kill it.
Yeah.
I would. Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much stress I would go home with if I were folding T-shirts.
Right. Really, what could you?
Right.
What could be so hard?
I bet there is something. I bet, you know what it would turn out to be is managing employees would be the hard thing. But I could still go back to fold some T-shirts and some socks and it
would be all right.
Could do that. Or I've thought, I don't know how long I would enjoy this for, but I could really enjoy like, living on a beach somewhere and like teaching swim lessons.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Or being a bartender at like a beach bar somewhere. I could do that. But true. And then I think immediately my next thought is it would take me like 2 weeks before I'd have like a little crowd of kids
all around you,
following around behind me on the beach, like looking at shells or pointing out doing some play therapy-esque thing.
Right.
But I think I can still hang out with some kids on the beach and it would feel different.
It would feel different. Yeah.
So not to say I haven't ever thought about what I might do if I weren't in a helping role, but I do actually think I would end up somehow finding myself in a different kind of helping role.
That makes sense.
But even that is kind of the point of this article, right? That you might change how you are a helper, but if you're a helper, you're probably going to continue to be a helper in some other
It plays out in other directions.
And well, I didn't think of this, but this absolutely brings us to the final point of the article, which is ultimately plans can change.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think that's sometimes what even leads to burnout is thinking it can't change. Right?
Oh.
So you're definitely pulling yourself back out of being overwhelmed or burning out if you're like, oh, okay.
I love that. So that a lot of this feeling of overwhelmed can come from us believing that there's no flexibility in it.
Right.
That it's not complex or that burnout is a final destination or that the path you've chosen is just the path. That's the path. There's no other option. But plans change.
Right. They can easily switch and change. I had a meeting recently with one of my supervisees, and she's been in a clinic setting working just pretty much with a pretty small population type. And she's kind of reaching the point where she knows this is a good position and she likes where she works. She just needs something different. Like mentally, she needs to be doing something different. And it's all she's known. She's done her entire internship there, which I don't think is as common anymore to be in one fixated
one
space
place the whole time.
So, but it is a interesting conversation to go, okay, so what else? Like
the world is your oyster. You could do something different.
So it's very interesting to see how that plays out. But you can be, in her situation, I don't know that I would necessarily say burnt out, but she's, really feeling overwhelmed with her position.
I hadn't thought of that. So you feel like with your supervisees, at least recently, you've not seen a lot of people who start in the same place and end in the same place.
Yeah.
Huh. Did you?
I did. Huh. Well, actually, no. No, I did multiple things.
I got the bulk of my experience hours at the same place, but that place was actually part-time-ish.
That's what
I kind of flexed up and at one point it was full-time there, but I always had like something else I was doing as well. So I had a good variety of experience. But I'm thinking about my recent supervisees, and one that we just finished paperwork, which was exciting. she started and ended in the same place, but she had such a depth of previous work experience
Wow.
that I
Yeah.
think she was very very well rounded, despite
Mhm.
having gotten technically all of her LPC, her
Hour.
licensed professional counselor associate hours, so her experience hours towards licensure, all in the same place. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think quite a few of mine have been at least some
Yeah.
variety of experience,
Right.
maybe like 2 places.
Yeah, 2 or 3 places I think is kind of common.
But this one,
Yeah.
for you, she's feeling like she started in the same place, she's ended in the same place, and
Right.
while it's been good experience, she's noticing or appreciating there's so many other
Right.
things she could do.
Right.
I think now I'm thinking about in the last handful of years, the supervisees that have finished and moved on to other things, how many of them stayed where they were at,
Interesting.
or relatively quickly moved on to a different opportunity. I can only think of one that their plan was to stay right where they were, and everybody else has moved on and done other things.
I have one that's not quite done with her hours yet, but I know that she would like to stay where she's at. It's stability and it works well for her.
Yeah.
But I think most have moved on.
Huh.
And maybe not immediately, but I think it's an opportunity.
Well, when you finished your hours, did you think, oh, good, finally I can move on and do something different?
No.
Or you were fine where you were?
Yeah, I was fine where I was at. And I did it for a while. It just worked for our family that way. So it, made sense.
I can't remember now where I was at or what I was doing exactly when I got finished.
Your hours done? Yeah.
But I think that, maybe there's an attitude sometimes with people who are being supervised that, oh, I have to get through this painful, terrible thing I don't want to do, supervision, and all these experience hours, and then I can do then I can really do it.
Right.
My thought is we're already doing it.
Right. Yeah, we're already there. You can do that now.
But I do think you and I, a lot of times woven throughout a lot of the podcast episodes, we're talking about the flexibility that you can find in being a counselor.
Right.
There's so many ways to do it. It can change to meet your needs.
It can even change because you want to learn something different. So it can change for all sorts of reasons.
So if you're finding yourself being a helper in one specific way, you don't have to keep doing it that one way.
Right.
Making yourself kind of miserable, maybe.
Definitely.
Yeah, it can be flexible. So you don't have to stay in an overwhelmed place.
Right. Just move on.
Heather and I would love to hear about ways that you help yourself when you're feeling overwhelmed in your professional role. And we would also love to hear ideas for new episodes. Thanks today for listening to Supervision with a Vision.